now that we've created our checklist template, so we're going to create a dashboard. I've created this dashboard. I called it checklist dashboard. So I'm going to drag that sheet into, let's just rename this to checklist template. So I've brought it into the dashboard, and this is what the sheet looks like. So what are we going to be doing it? We're going to be creating a dashboard action. And remember, we created a parameter earlier in the video. Kindly ignore other ones because I'm using this workbook for multiple things. So we created a parameter called question string, and remember, this question string does not have anything there, but it's just a string type of parameter. And going back to each of our calculated field, you can see the highlight. I've explained this one is just removes and adds the string. So as you click on the dashboard action, it's going to add. So it's going to text if that string that you clicked, which is the question number, is in the question string parameter, which is not in at the moment. So if not, if it's true, because it's going to return true. If it is, it's going to replace what is in there if the question exists there with blank. But if it's not there, it's just going to add the question into it. So we expect that the first click from our dashboard action is going to add into it, and in that case that will be false. And again, that's what's going to be toggling our shapes. Remember, that's what the in highlight, but select is just testing if it's there or not. So this will return true or false, and select is what is in this shape. You can see, so currently the shape is false because we do not have what's it called, any string in that parameter, so it's false. Once we click on it, it's going to return true, and we expect our true value to have a different shape. So let's create our dashboard action. So once we click on dashboard, you'll see action. So we're going to create a parameter action in here. So again, we have just one sheet in on this dashboard, and our target parameter is the question string, which is the only one we've created. Then we have our source field to be the highlights. The highlight is for the to change, you know, the highlight is one that has all the string, all the formulas is going to keep attaching, and it changes the color of each of our visualization as well. So let's just click OK and click OK. So we can go back to, if you're not sure of a formula, you can see what's inside the highlight. You can see that it has all the string is attaching the strings into it, and we have it in our details, not in color, sorry, it's in our detail, and it's going to be working with the visualization. But select is what's in our detail. So if we look at select, this is what we have in there, and select is also referencing, yeah, so this select should be referencing our question string. We didn't update that, sorry. Question string, apply, okay. Let's confirm our highlights again, and yes, question string. So cool. So it's all are referencing that parameters, and the parameter is an empty string at the moment. So this action is going to attach each of our strings, which is the question, into the parameter, and it's going to change this to true, and it's also going to change this by attaching it into it, because this is where we should have highlighting there in details. So we see how that plays out now. So checklist, basically we toggle this shape. So let's select this. You can see that it has changed the color, and in this case we can decide to go back to the sheet and replace the shape with something else. So go to true. I can decide to change to ticked, or whatever shape you want to. So I need to quickly add a toggle shape there, but for now I do not have it, so we can change this to a checklist as you wish. So you can see that this has changed to true because we clicked it. So if you have a arrow, let's just quickly go back. There should be a green button somewhere in some of those shapes. Let's try to use this one. Yeah, this should work. So for this one, we change this to this and we go back. So you can see that I've checked this. And if I select the other one, it does it. So the dynamics is the parameter keeps changing. So the parameter now contains the string, and that's why this is true. All right, because this is now selected, you can see because we created this now, it has removed it from the string, replaces with a space. If we click this one the second time, is removed it by replacing it to a space, and this has turned to false because it doesn't contain it anymore. So once we click on this one, this is the first time we're clicking it, it's adding it into the string. So we should be curious to know what is inside the string, which is our parameter, and this is what we should see. We should see multiple strings in there. You can see that we have just this question 3, and it gives, we have all the spaces there. So it toggles between. So let's click question 3 again, and or question 1, and we would see that. So yeah, question 3, yeah, we'll see that this will go off. All right, and our string should be gone as well. And there we have it. We have replaced with a space. So that's how it works with dynamics. So the next aspect of the video is where we will be using this in a small or mini quiz, and we'll see how that plays out. All right, so if you notice that once I select a question, it's grayed out. So all you need to do is to click outside of it and you'll see it clearly. You can see on selection, it goes on, and it also affects what's on the sheet. When we go to the sheet, you can see it in there. So let's come back to the question part or the quiz part of the video. So again, I have these questions duplicated there just because I have 2 answers. I've been able to explain what the data source looks like. So each of the questions is repeated because you have a correct answer and an incorrect one, and each of them have other identifiers attached to them. So I have, for correct answers, I have them to be odd numbers, and for wrong answers, I have them to be even numbers. And in the other, you can see correct are odd numbers, and there is a reason why, and you should know what you want to build so that it will inform how the design of your data source is. So let's go back to our worksheet, and this is what we have. So I have the questions duplicated. Now that we've established how to build a checklist, all we need to do is to replace this question bit with the answer, and that's what I'll be doing. I'll be putting the answer into the label, and this is what I want to display to the audience. So we have an incorrect answer and a right answer for each of the questions. Okay, so once we've been able to place the answer into this, I will untick all these ones by checking so it works on the dashboard. Untick them, so our string will be empty, and I click outside, so we have nothing. So these are all the answers, and this is what we displayed to each of our users. So I'm going to create a new sheet, and I'm going to drag. I have a whole lot of sheets on this workbook, but just bear with me, and I'm going to bring it to the other side of it. Cool, so I have a new sheet in here, and this is where I'm going to be putting my questions to display. So I'll put the questions in the text, okay, not the question ID, the question itself, which is the description in our data source. So I'll create a parameter, and I will make the parameter from 1 to 10, and this parameter will be compared to the question ID. So if it's true, I'm going to filter it out, and that's the parameter the users will be using to control the questions they'll be answering. All right, so these are all the questions in there. So the parameter will be from 1 to 10. Create a parameter, not a calculator field. I'll make it integer, and I'll make it a list, and it will be from 1 to 10. You can make it a range. Range is faster. So step of this, and maximum will be 10. Okay, so I'll make it okay, and I'll just say range of questions, just make a description, number of questions. So once I have that in there, I will now create a calculated field to compare it with the question ID. So my calculator field will bring the number of question and say equals to question ID, and the question ID as 1 to 10 as well. If I go back to, let's just say, question filter. So let's go back to our field. You will see what my question ID is. You see it at the unique identifier, that not unique identifier, like one of it doesn't uniquely identify it, it's uniquely identifies the serial number, but it just shows the number of question. We can decide to make it use the unique part of it and use the serial number instead of the question number. Let's go to the calculated field. Yep, so we can compare with the question with the serial number, which uniquely identifies our questions. And let's drop this in the filter, and I'll say true. So this is not where I want to put it. I'll put it in my question sheet. Questions for quiz. Okay, so I'll bring this filter into it, and I'll say true, and let's see what it is now. So it is showing that the first one, let's make this entire view, and let's increase this one to like 12 thereabout. So we can see what is Tableau primarily used for. That's of question 1, and that's because our default value for our parameter, let's just show our parameter, is 1. You can see, so if I move to the second question, so you can see that it has which file extension. So it seems that the question is still showing the repetition. Okay, it's repeating it twice because my questions are very repeated twice. So each of them is not uniquely. So I can decide to create another filter to say to ease off the off ones, but it's going to affect the questions. But basically that's what that does. So once I've created my question sheet, the next, and I'll have my answers in here. Again, I want to show one correct answer and one incorrect answer and one correct answer. So I need to filter this also based on the question filter. So let's just see what this plays out. So let's see this one, and it's just showing me xls.xls, which is just one of the questions. So I expect it to show me 2 of the question at a glance. So that's the next puzzle we will be solving. So